Batman issues 140 and 141 find Joker finally happy to confront the real Batman. Zur-en-Arrh tells him to shut up since he's going to end him once and for all. Joker runs away and Zur gives chase as inside Bruce's mind, Bruce meets with the other Zurs from the multiverse, told that when he was hopping from universe to universe, touching the minds of the other Batmen, his Zur invited them all to join him since there is strength in numbers. Bruce doesn't understand what strength they need, and one explains that they are not going to be backups this time, since now they can keep their world safe, and once they help this Zur, he'll move on to the other Earths and do the same. The Zurs begin to surround Bruce, telling him he's going about it all wrong since he's never needed to build an army of sidekicks, since he's an army himself. Zur meanwhile rips his way through Joker's traps inside the mansion, calling the fleeing clown a coward as he bursts out of a window, swinging back around through another window to catch the Joker off guard. He beats the villain down, telling him that he's going to end his life. Bruce asks the Zurs how violence will help make the world safer, but they reveal that it's more than that. It's planning for beyond stopping the villain of the week, and he has always known that it would take total control to make the people feel safe. Bruce knows that a battle between himself and an army of himself stripped of humanity is a battle he can't win, which is why it's his favourite kind. He attacks the Zurs as Joker is beaten to a pulp by Zur-en-Arrh, who thinks that maybe he will start by snapping Joker's neck and paralyzing him, making it so that he needs machines to breathe. Joker manages to taser Zur, getting the man off of him and giving him a chance to escape, but not before telling Zur that he loves this fight. Bruce continues to battle himself in his own mind, reminding himself that Zurs aren't real and he can't let them get to him. Zur-en-Arrh meanwhile is confronted by Lucy, who demands to know what her former apprentice is doing. Zur says that he's stronger than he was when she mentored him, and now he is what he is supposed to be. Bruce can see Lucy getting closer as the woman tells him that a darkness is inside of him, but he was never like this when she knew him. Zur says that he took what he needed from the woman, but after all she is a thief and he doesn't take advice from criminals. Bruce screams for her to get away as he manages to take back control of his body, telling Lucy to run since the Joker will kill her and he is trapped in his own mind. Lucy knows that Bruce is never trapped and he knows every way out of his mind, and if he doesn't, he'll make a new way. Bruce is dragged back down into his own mind and Zur tells her to go since he is right where he is needed. He races off after Joker as Bruce is beaten down by the Zurs, told by them that it doesn't have to be this way and he can join them and end crime once and for all. Bruce thinks on Lucy's words about making his own way out, so he transforms his surroundings into his memory palace. He escapes into the various staircases and bookshelves, unsure how long he can maintain this before Zur shatters his mind. Joker continues to flee Zur-en-Arrh, who catches him with a grapple and trips him up. Joker thinks that it's time for phase 2 of his plan, but Batman believes that this will just be his final phase. Bruce meanwhile reminds himself that he is in charge of his own mind and he can use it to his advantage. He catches a Zur, knocking them out as the 60s era Zur deploys the Bat Shield. Being in his own mind though, Bruce concentrates and comes up with anti-Bat Shield razors, tossing them at the shield and taking down the Batman. The 1989 Zur attacks with acid capsules, but Bruce, who is able to turn his head, gets around behind him, kicking him in the back of the head and knocking him out. The vampire Zur soon follows Bruce, chasing him into Thomas and Martha's bedroom. Bruce knows that while the memory of the bedroom is beginning to fade and doesn't look how it used to look, he knows his father was a good Christian man and reaches into a drawer to grab his father's Bible, using it to ward off the vampire. Zur-en-Arrh meanwhile breaks Joker's back over his knee and the memory palace in Bruce's mind begins to fall apart. The Dark Knight returns. Zur confronts Bruce, telling him that he might be able to control all the kids, but he still needs to deal with an adult in the room. Bruce squares up with the bigger Batman, beating him around his mind as the being tries to throw him off balance, calling Bruce an amateur. Bruce tells him that next to him, the man is just a Batman, cold and uncaring, and the only thing he feels is pain. Zur-en-Arrh comes for Joker once more as Bruce beats the final Zur, telling him that he's more than Batman, which is why he'll never be beaten. Bruce sees a bright light above him, signaling that the hold Zur had on him is gone and he can resurface and take control of his body. Bruce does so and wakes up in a lab, finding himself covered in blood. A robotic voice tells him that this wasn't supposed to be the plan, at least not for a long while, and while they were only supposed to activate the Terminus project once their body was weak and couldn't go on, they needed to go somewhere now. Bruce is shocked to find that Failsafe is alive and well, and Zur-en-Arrh has been uploaded into its mind, giving the violent part of Bruce's mind a physical form. Sometime in the past, Batman, possessed by Zur, continues building Failsafe, who finds a security gap in his system. Zur explains that's part of the Failsafe, since if he is not needed to take out Batman, there is another reason for Failsafe to exist. In the present, Zur-en-Arrh, now inhabiting the body of Failsafe, finds Bruce looks surprised. Yet this is something that Bruce would have done too. Bruce realizes that the access point on Failsafe he used to take down the robot originally was deliberately left open so Zur could access it. Zur tells him that Failsafe is the final resting place for Batman, so his mission could continue beyond a failing body. He asks Bruce how far he is willing to keep fighting, and now he has a choice to make. Be thrown into a hole, beaten and broken, or will he walk away and live a life well earned in retirement? Bruce finds himself actually considering a chance to finally stop and rest, but he tells the robot that the problem with this plan is that Zur isn't Batman, Bruce is. Batman blasts Zur with smoke pellets from his gauntlet, quick to remind himself of where he put the robot's sensors. He grabs the robot with his new metal hand, smashing it into the wall. He decides to let Zur think he's still in control, pretending to be scared as the robot pushes him out of the building's window. Bruce finds himself in a snowy forest, finding a car next to the cabin. He gets in and speeds off as Zur figures that the choice he gave the hero was never even considered, and like him, Bruce would rather die than stop. As Batman speeds away, he tells himself that he can't escape Zur, but he won't make it easy for the robot to kill him. Elsewhere, Nightwing comes to the clock tower to find Barbara looking after Lucy. The old friends reunite and Barbara wants to know who the woman is, learning from Dick that this is Lucy Chesson, the international thief known as the Grey Shadow, and she was once both his and Bruce's mentor. Lucy tells Dick that she was kidnapped by the Joker, and while she got away, Bruce showed up, but there was something changed about him, and it wasn't something that was his usual Batman performance, and he was talking about killing the Joker. Barb knows that Zur-en-Arrh has returned, getting to work on the computer to look for Bruce as Lucy thinks that Bruce has done something terrible. Dick promises to find Bruce as Barb locates the Low Muller mansion that Lucy was taken to. She knows Dick will find his father, however she's not sticking around for any heroics, since she simply trains the ones who are sticking around as it seems. As the Grey Shadow leaves, Dick asks Barbara what they are going to do, but Batgirl doesn't know. Bruce meanwhile continues to speed away from the cabin, with Zur in hot pursuit. He tells himself to anticipate the robot, knowing that he'll jump onto the car engine to cripple the car. He watches Zur leap and accelerates, getting ahead of the jump, but Zur lands on the boot of the car, telling Bruce that his ego will be his downfall, and he will be saving more lives since he's the better Batman. As Zur tries to get in the car, Bruce dumps out some foam pellets, grappling out of the car as they explode with Zur inside. The foam pellets harden, turning like steel and trapping Zur in the car. He continues down the snowy road and careens off a cliff, exploding in a fireball. Bruce knows that that won't kill Zur, but it will slow him down as he heads through the woodlands towards Gotham 20 miles away. Putting some distance between him and Zur, Bruce covers himself in mud to help mask his thermal reading so Zur can't track him. He isn't sure what Zur is going to do, but he is sure that he's going to Gotham since he believes Bruce will try and get his family to help. But Bruce isn't going to do that. Bruce returns to the cabin, planning on making his stand there. Inside, he finds many upgrades for Failsafe, finding it all feels like a very distant memory in his head. He gets to work adapting some of the tech for his own use before Zur finds him, as the robot manages to crawl out of the burning car. The villain heads up the cliff and surveys the nearby Gotham, but realizes Bruce isn't going to go there. Instead, he turns around and sprints back towards the cabin. Zur arrives at the cabin, calling to Bruce and telling him that his flesh is weak, so of course he's going to head back to the cabin. Zur enters the building, telling the unseen Bruce that he will eventually succumb to his technology and will become Zur in the process, which is just another reason why he should be replaced, since why deny the inevitable? Zur spots Bruce outside as Batman blows up the cabin, aware that Zur is invulnerable, but that is what makes him sloppy. Bruce manages to disappear on Zur, hiding above him in the trees as the villain refuses to let Bruce stand in his way. Bruce leaps down on him, using blades that he modified from the cabin to slash at Zur. Zur of course is faster and punches Bruce away, telling him that there is no tactic which he cannot counter, since he is Bruce and Bruce used to be the best. Bruce decides it's time to take him off balance, covering the villain in a smoke grenade as he brings a tree down on top of him, giving him an opening when Zur catches the log. Bruce slashes at Zur's chest, trying to sever his nervous system, but Zur hits Bruce with the log, and before he even hits the ground, entangles the hero in his electrical tentacles. Zur tells Bruce that he used to be the best, and that's no small thing, but nothing stays the best for long and champions fall, and that's just the nature of things. He slams Bruce hard into the ground, ripping his cowl off before picking him up again and proclaiming that Bruce's dream is coming true, and Batman has stopped crime with Zur-Arrh's creation. Bruce tells Zur that he's just a criminal and he stops those, but before he can do anything though, Zur knocks him unconscious. Sometime later, Bruce awakens in a cell, finding thanks to his beard stubble, he's been out for at least a couple of weeks. Before he can wonder where exactly he is, the Joker tells him good morning. Bruce begins to wonder if Zur killed Joker, but the villain will only say that Bruce's secret Batman put him through the ringer. Bruce is aware that Joker knows about Zur-en-Arrh and his mentors, and it's time he tells him how exactly he's involved in all of this. And Joker thinks that's not a bad idea, and plans to do exactly that.